Welcome to APDesign Digital Tools. In this video we're going to talk about taking this information and begin to get diagrams and/or vector drawings from this information here. So the first thing I want you to do is go under View Properties, and in there you'll find that you have a lens. And we may have gone over this in the previous video, but I think it's important maybe to go over it again. You want to set up views that are 18 millimeter, maybe perhaps 24 millimeter. That is truly a lens like the ones that you will find on an expensive digital camera or an analog camera. So this gets you to basically a wide angle lens, which is closer to what the world looks like when you walk around it. So it's a better architectural lens for documenting your work. So you'll want to do that, and you'll want to use the named views. If you really like a view and you want to hold on to it, you can go to the named views. If that's not turned on in your screen, what you do is you go under this gear here, and you'll find it's just off this screen for you. I'll move this over. You'll find that you have all these other tabs that you can turn on here, and the one you're looking for is named views. So once you turn that on, you'll see this camera show up, and you'll do a save view. So I may call this I don't know, front perspective, something like that. And maybe I do an aerial shot, so I'll call that the aerial front perspective and whatnot. So I'll save those, and then as you're orbiting around and kind of looking at things and you want to go back to it, you just click on it and it'll take you straight back to that. Now I'll save also the lens that you've created for it. So if you are at 50 millimeters, it would go back to that. So you kind of want to always have your lens in the correct setting before you make these. So the importance of this is that now I can use what's called Make 2D. And in Make 2D, it will ask me to select the objects it wants me to draw, or I want it to draw. And so I'm going to select this stuff here. I'm not selecting this back stuff, so you'll see that that won't show up. And then it asks me a series of questions through this dialog box. So I'm going to use the current view, and then I'm going to decide whether I want hidden lines, whether I want to maintain source layers, and whatnot. I'm just going to keep it pretty simple. We'll just do visible lines right now, and I'll say OK. Alright, now it looks like nothing happened, but you'll see back here there's an icon, the widgets, the little gumballs showing up. So in the top view, it has created this perspective drawing for you. Now that piece is over top of it, so really what I want to do is probably just grab that drawing and pull it off to the side. It always creates the image at the origin point. So if you don't know where it is, just go to the origin. That's where you'll find it. So now I have a drawing, a pretty basic drawing that is set up that I can start to assign maybe layers to. So I have this Make 2D. I think inside of that I'm going to go ahead and draw or create another series of layers, saying like heavy line type, maybe medium, and maybe light. And I'll throw that one in there. Okay, all those are in there, and I'm just going to assign these guys some line weight. So heavy might be some like 0.6, Medium might be 0.3, and light will be this hairline. Alright, so then I can decide kind of what I should be calling out as heavy. Let's go with that. Change object layer. And if I turn on my print display, turn that to on, you'll see that that line work is now heavy, or heavier. And maybe I'll grab this stuff too, since it's kind of in the foreground, or there's space behind it, I should say. And then I would decide like what of this should be the medium. And what of it should be light. So I think I'll throw everything else on the light layer. So now everything starts to be coded like that. And I can take this drawing and have it go to Illustrator. Other things that you might want to think about using, and we'll see if this actually works, I'm not sure it will, is using the clipping plane. So in the clipping plane, you can basically cut through your model like a section cut. So if we draw clipping plane, so it's going to draw on the C plane. So right now I'm drawing something that is a horizontal cut. And you can see that it has this little tail. That's the direction of the plane. So everything above that is vanishing. So it's kind of like an X-ray. You can move it up and down the drawing, or the model I mean, and it will cut through it and show you kind of what's inside. So that's pretty cool. And you can actually have in the rendered settings, you can tell it what color you want this fill to be. Now let's take a look. I'm not sure it will, but let's see if the Make 2D actually responds to that. I'm thinking that Rhino 5 does not like clipping planes, but let's see what happens. Visible clipping planes. We'll say OK, and then let's zoom to that. Alright, great. It actually like held on to that information. Now you can see that it didn't vanish what was inside. It looks like it created an outline for that information. So we could, I think, place a hatch, and it looks like it has like one not closed piece, so we'd have to actually fill it. Yeah, not that one. That one to this one. And select this again. And I'm just deselecting the stuff that I don't want it to hatch. And we'll see if it can hatch that. Alright, so then you can create these three-dimensional plans and or sections, and you can export that information too to Illustrator. So these are the kind of quick way. Oh, it looks like I grabbed a line from over here. Alright, so these are ways that you can create quick diagrams from your model. And you can see that it's very easy to create line work. And then that stuff can go into Illustrator. Something that I see a lot of is students creating, using Live Paint in Illustrator to denote, whether that's something that they want to kind of highlight or they want to add some tone to. I think that using Live Paint is a crutch. It's not a very good tool. It's very difficult to edit afterwards. It tends to kind of ruin the drawing. So if you want to add that kind of thing, I would suggest that you do it here in Rhino World. So if we want to do that, I'm just going to add like a couple of gray layers. Let's say a dark gray, a light gray, and let's keep it like maybe that simple. And so we'll have this one be kind of that color, and we'll have this one be that color. And let's say that we want to add some tone to this. So to do that, you can do a couple of things. If we're going to do the dark gray, let's decide kind of what we want to show. Let's say that these two surfaces, that surface, are going to be dark gray. So what you can do is this great tool called Boolean, Curve Boolean. Curve Boolean allows you to kind of grab, you want to look at what you're doing up here. Delete input. I'm not going to delete the input. Combine regions. We'll say no to this. And what it does is, now I'm on that layer, it's going to create a curve set that's a closed polygon of basically the surfaces that I want to give a tone to. So let's say it's those. So now I can hatch that. And it's added that tone to it. Now if I do this operation again, but I'm on light gray, now you have to select every object that you want to kind of select within. Now, I want to now use the curve Boolean. Select all those. And then maybe I want to select those surfaces that face me. And we'll hatch those. So simply using the layer structure here and this idea of tonal quality and that curve Boolean, I'm able to immediately kind of give a very illustrated look to a drawing. So it's very simple, quick and easy and dirty. Alright, cool.